Stop everything you are doing right now and just listen to my voice. Gemini, you didn't click on this video by accident, and this isn't just another algorithm guessing your preferences. It is the exact moment in your cycle that demanded you hear this. I can feel the heavy weight you have been carrying in silence, that exhausting sensation of always having to fight twice as hard just to keep what is rightfully yours. If you scroll past this now, you will carry that same invisible weight into a phase where you are meant to fly. But if you stay, I am going to reveal the exact reason why your radical breakthrough is finally here. I see the Gemini who constantly hits a wall right on the verge of a massive victory. The one who feels the heavy stares in the room but chooses to play it off with a smile. You have learned to dim your own vibrant light just to make others comfortable. But this is not just a quirk of your personality, Gemini. You are like the underground river that has been quietly gathering force beneath dry, cracked earth, unseen by everyone, until the pressure triggers a massive geyser that shatters the concrete above it. You will understand why every major leap in your life has been accompanied by a sudden, inexplicable draining of your energy. You will discover the exact nature of the invisible siege that has been trying to hold back your radical breakthroughs. You will recognize the signs that the energetic reset embedded in your DNA is finally being activated. You will learn how to permanently blind your field so that the heavy eyes around you can no longer delay your path. And before this message closes, I'm going to tell you one specific phrase about your life that you will carry with you for the next few months. Have you ever felt that there is a strange, heavy pressure sitting on your chest that gets tighter precisely when things are about to go right? As if something deep inside you knew that not everyone smiling at you wants you to win, but your logical mind hasn't been able to accept it yet. What if this endless cycle of last-minute delays and sudden exhaustion isn't just bad luck, but a sign that the universe is trying to show you the spiritual envy that has been silently suffocating your Gemini energy? While many people pretend that spiritual envy doesn't exist, few realize that every stalled project can carry an unspoken stare, an invisible chain, and a spiritual siege that hasn't been cut yet. But what if the great turning point lies in this revelation that you haven't been able to apply yet? Now think with me. Why does everything stall in my life precisely when it is about to work out? What if every door that slammed shut at the 11th hour, every compliment that tasted bitter, every time your brilliant idea was credited to someone else, every wave of exhaustion after certain encounters, and this constant sensation of being watched too closely were actually signs of a spiritual envy you have ignored for far too long? It was looking for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret of the Universe to Keep Envy Away from Gemini's Life. This book isn't just a read. It is a revelation created for Geminis who want to understand exactly where this draining energy is coming from, permanently cut the invisible cords of spiritual envy and silent sabotage, keep this heavy energy away from your life for good, so you can experience your radical breakthroughs with a completely clear field. Many Geminis already feel they need to protect themselves from this energy surrounding them, but haven't yet made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the pinned comment. But pay attention, the access could be taken offline at any moment. It reveals reflections, hidden signs, and directions that can transform your entire path. Don't wait for another massive breakthrough to crumble at the last second to finally seek your spiritual protection. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the envy that tried to suppress your DNA reset might be the exact proof that the universe has prepared a breakthrough for you that is simply too massive to go unnoticed. If this very first word has already touched something deep inside you, write "My reset is protected" down below in the comments. Not for me, but because another Gemini who is exactly where you were a year ago needs this message to find them tonight. This path of protection has a map, and it is already within your reach in the first pinned comment. I will come back to it in a moment. And if for any reason you are not interested or cannot acquire the digital book right now, there is still another door open for you. I don't receive a single penny for any of these messages I deliver here every day. Nothing at all. And yet they keep going out, every day, for you and for every Gemini who still needs to be reached. If at any moment your heart wishes to give back a little of what you received, there is a voluntary donation link open in the pinned comment right below the book. Whatever amount fits in your hand today, whatever amount your heart points to, that is what keeps this channel standing. That is what makes the next message reach another Gemini tomorrow, exactly as it reached you today. I will wait for you there, Gemini. I haven't even told you the most important thing yet. There are 4 signs that this siege is already acting upon you, and you are going to recognize at least one of them. Let the noise of the outside world fade for just a second. I want you to step away from all the logical explanations you have been given for why things are so hard right now. You are a Gemini. You read the room before a single word is spoken, and you feel the shift in energy long before anyone else even notices it. Yet, when it comes to your own life, you have been taught to doubt that exact same intuition. You have been carrying a weight that was never meant for your shoulders. Notice how your body reacts to what I am about to tell you right now. Pay attention to your chest, to that familiar tension that always arrives when you are on the edge of a victory. What you have been fighting is not a flaw in your character, nor is it a random series of unfortunate events. The universe speaks in patterns, and there are 4 specific signs that this invisible siege is already acting upon you. You are going to recognize at least one of them, and when you do, everything will finally make sense. The first sign happens in broad daylight. Think of that sudden drop in the room's temperature at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, when you enthusiastically shared a piece of good news and received a smile that simply didn't reach the eyes. It is that tiny, almost imperceptible hesitation before someone congratulates you. You felt the shift. You felt the coldness creeping in. You called it your own paranoia, but the universe called it spiritual perception. That wasn't your imagination, Gemini. It was your field detecting a silent, immediate threat to your rising frequency. The second sign is the unexplainable drain. It is that heavy, paralyzing exhaustion that hits you at 8 p.m., right after a seemingly normal conversation with an acquaintance. For some of you, this appears as a sudden, sharp clarity at your workplace, where a brief exchange leaves you completely depleted. For others, it shows up in your personal life as an abrupt urge to clear out your contacts after a casual chat. You called it a sudden loss of passion or just a long day, but the universe called it a silent, energetic drain. It isn't physical tiredness. It is the absolute physical toll of someone actively pulling your light. The third sign is the last-minute wall. It is that crucial project, that long-awaited opportunity, or that perfect alignment that inexplicably fell apart on a Friday evening, right when the ink was about to dry. Everything was set. You had done all the work. And then, out of nowhere, it all crumbles. You called it bad luck at the finish line. You blamed your own timing. But the universe called it an invisible siege. It was the collective weight of uninvited envy, tightening its grip precisely, because you were inches away from your radical breakthrough. And the fourth sign is the echoing silence. It is that strange, heavy quietness from your circle when you achieve something remarkable. It is the moment you are forced to celebrate alone in your car because the people who should be cheering the loudest suddenly have nothing to say. You justified it. You said they were just busy, or that you shouldn't make a big deal out of it. You called it starting from scratch again. But the universe called it the karmic reset. It is the deliberate withholding of support designed to make you shrink, to diminish your frequency so they don't have to deal with the magnitude of your brilliance. These signs have a common origin, and it has a name. But before the name, you need something else. There is a path of protection, and I am going to open it right now, before the name, before the word. Because whoever carries the weight of this invisible siege needs relief before receiving the revelation. Stay. And it is exactly here that the path of protection opens. The signs that just hit you didn't hit you by accident, Gemini. That invisible anchor that drags you down just when you start picking up speed. It's a field that tightens around you the moment your frequency rises. You have felt it in your very bones, as if a sudden freezing shadow was cast over your brightest moments precisely when you were supposed to celebrate. You have tried to rationalize it. You have tried to brush it off. You have tried to blame your own timing or your own lack of focus, but a deeper part of you knows the truth. What if this sudden loss of momentum isn't you running out of steam, but a desperate sign that the universe is trying to expose the spiritual envy that has been actively suffocating your path? I have seen Geminis exactly where you are right now. I have seen them carrying that heavy, unspoken stare in crowded rooms, pretending they didn't feel the sudden drop in temperature. I have seen them trying to smile through the paralyzing exhaustion, wondering why they constantly have to fight invisible battles just to keep what is rightfully theirs. They try to accommodate everyone else's comfort. They dim their own vibrant light just to avoid the sudden coldness from people they thought were on their side. They exhaust themselves building bridges for others, only to find themselves completely drained and isolated when it is their turn to cross. I know exactly what it feels like to carry a brilliance that makes others uncomfortable, and I know how incredibly heavy it is to pretend you don't notice the silent sabotage happening right in front of your eyes. It is the opportunities that vanished without explanation, the friendships that suddenly turned cold when you elevated your life, the exhausting reality of carrying unseen resentments. You cannot keep living in this exhausting cycle of almost making it. You cannot keep letting your energy be harvested by people who refuse to grow, because a breakthrough cannot bloom in soil poisoned by hidden envy. It was precisely to dismantle this mechanism that I found this digital book called The Great Secret of the Universe to Keep Envy Away from Gemini's Life. This is not just a collection of words to make you feel better. It is the definitive energetic map created specifically for you to understand exactly where this draining energy is coming from, permanently cut the invisible cords of spiritual envy and silent sabotage, keep this heavy energy away from your life for good, so you can experience your radical breakthroughs with a completely clear field. Listen to me very carefully, Gemini. A breakthrough cannot bloom in soil poisoned by hidden envy. The reset only happens when the invisible siege is finally exposed and washed away. And this cosmic window to clear your field does not wait. The universe is aligning this exact moment so you can finally break free. Do not let this moment pass. Every minor delay you accept without this path is another layer of heavy energy wrapping around your true potential. Every withheld celebration you tolerate without this map is an open door for the siege to drain the radical breakthrough that the universe is trying to hand you right now. Every time you shrink to make someone else comfortable without this armor is a moment you give them permission to siphon your light. You have been paying a heavy spiritual tax that was never yours to pay. And every day you choose to leave your energetic field unprotected is another day you allow the envy of others to dictate the speed of your ascent. Don't wait for the next sudden delay to understand what this current blockade came to teach you. The digital book is in the first pinned comment. Download it right now while this word is still alive inside you and claim the absolute energetic shielding that only this specific path maps out completely. You are not meant to cross this dark river while constantly absorbing the cold wind and the hidden hostility of those standing on the banks. The karmic reset that is activating in your DNA requires absolute lightness. It requires you to drop the bags that simply do not belong to you. Take a deep, slow breath right now. Feel your chest expanding as you finally realize that the suffocating weight you have been carrying was never yours to hold. The water is already rising beneath the cracked earth, Gemini. The old structures of envy are already beginning to break, and you are no longer just surviving the current. You are finally stepping into the position of controlling the flood. The siege is losing its power over you, but you must keep walking forward with your eyes wide open. And as I told you earlier, Gemini, besides the digital book that is in the first pinned comment, there is that voluntary donation link open right below the book. I still don't receive a single penny for every message that goes out from here to you. That is why this link exists, so that another Gemini tomorrow can find exactly this message that found you today. Whatever amount your heart points to. Each gesture like this keeps our channel standing and makes the next message reach whoever needs it, exactly as it reached you today. What acts against you has a form, and it has a deadline. And now, with the path laid out before you, the name descends. What you have been experiencing is not a random sequence of unfortunate events. It isn't a lack of effort on your part. It isn't bad luck. It isn't a cosmic punishment. It is the DNA karmic reset. This is a deep cosmic activation happening in your energetic blueprint right now, systematically dismantling the old structures of spiritual envy that have been silently suffocating your path. For years, you have been operating under an invisible siege, a heavy, stifling energy field projected by those who simply cannot handle the magnitude of your natural brilliance. Every time you were about to break through to the next level, this siege tightened. It drained your passion, clouded your focus, and caused your most vital projects to fall apart at the absolute last second. You thought you were just losing momentum, but your field was actually under attack. But the universe does not let its brightest sparks burn out in the dark. The DNA karmic reset is opening a specific, narrow window of liberation in your life right now, and it will not wait for you to realize you are being targeted. This reset is not just a gentle, gradual shift in perspective. It is a radical, tangible breakthrough designed to permanently wash away the hidden envy that has poisoned the soil of your progress. It is the ultimate dismantling of the siege, so you can finally step into your massive victories without carrying the heavy eyes of others. Think of the messenger who crosses both banks of a rushing, violent river in the dead of night. For years, the people standing safely on both sides threw stones into the dark water, hoping to sink the small boat. They smiled to his face during the day, offering bitter praises and backhanded compliments. But when the crossing began, they cast their unspoken judgments and hidden jealousies, actively trying to pull him under. The messenger never stopped to fight them. He never shouted back at the shores. He simply kept rowing, absorbing the cold wind, the heavy stares, and the hidden hostility of the spectators who secretly wished to see him fail. They thought you were just desperately surviving the current, Gemini. They watched you struggle against the sudden exhaustion and the last-minute delays, assuming that the weight of the river would eventually break you. They assumed your brilliance would finally fade. But what they didn't realize was that every single time you crossed that dark water in silence, you were mapping the riverbed. You were secretly building the strength, the resilience, and the unshakable spiritual armor for the exact moment the floodgates would finally open. That is exactly where you are right now, Gemini. You are no longer just crossing the river. You are about to control the flood. The DNA karmic reset is the underlying pressure, finally triggering a massive geyser that shatters the concrete they tried to pour over your potential. The stones they threw are being washed away, and the water is rising to lift you completely above the heavy energy you were forced to navigate for so long. I saw you swallow your good news in that quiet room because something warned you it wasn't safe to shine. I watched you carry the heavy weight of their unspoken resentment, choosing to dim your own vibrant light just to keep the peace and make them comfortable. I felt the agonizing exhaustion you pushed through every time the invisible siege tried to drag you back down to their level. You never complained, but you never gave up. And that is exactly why I am permanently removing their access to your energy right now. There is a person who carried this exact same invisible siege for years. Every time they were about to step into a new life, a strange, heavy fog would descend. Supposedly close friends would suddenly disappear, and their energy would plummet to absolute zero. They thought they were cursed to always almost make it, to constantly hit a brick wall right on the verge of a massive victory. And then, the DNA karmic reset was triggered in their life. They stopped trying to accommodate the heavy stares of their circle. They stopped intellectualizing the spiritual attacks and finally decided to seal their field. What changed in them wasn't their talent, their circumstances, or their work ethic. It was the absolute, unapologetic refusal to let anyone else's envy sit in their passenger seat anymore. The delays stopped immediately. The sudden exhaustion vanished. They claimed their radical breakthrough in silence, protecting the seed before it sprouted, and the siege lost all its access points. You are still processing this right now, feeling that sudden, undeniable shiver of recognition on the back of your neck as you realize why you have been so tired lately. The deepest truth is still ahead, and it has your name. This cosmic reset isn't just about clearing the dark water from your path. It is about finally recognizing the one who has been rowing the boat in silence. You have spent so much time surviving the heavy energy of others, trying to rationalize their hidden jealousies, that you almost forgot the sheer magnitude of the light you actually carry. But the universe remembers exactly who you are, Gemini, and it is time you recognize the heavy spiritual roles you have been forced to play. Many of you have been acting as the unseen observer. Gemini watches. Gemini senses the shift. Gemini reads the room before a single word is spoken. You learn to shrink to survive. You felt the subtle drops in temperature and deliberately made your own presence smaller, just so the insecure people around you wouldn't feel threatened by your natural brilliance. Your deepest vulnerability was believing that your vibrant light was somehow a burden to those who preferred the dark. Others have spent their entire lives as the bridge builder. Gemini connects. Gemini elevates. Gemini exhausts themselves carrying everyone else across the heavy waters. You spent years pouring your brilliant creative energy into people who had absolutely nothing to give back, lifting them up while your own spirit was being quietly drained dry. You convinced yourself it was your noble duty to fix them, completely ignoring the paralyzing exhaustion that was settling deeply into your own bones. And then there is the bearer of two flames. You are the Gemini who finally learned to burn bright without asking for anyone's permission, but you still carry the immense guilt of leaving the heavy, stagnant ones behind. You know in your soul that you are meant for massive, radical breakthroughs, yet every time you step into your true power, you quietly apologize for it. You shrink your victories, terrified that your success will trigger the hidden envy of the people you love. You are all of these, Gemini. Notice your chest right now. Feel that sudden, undeniable warmth spreading through your lungs. Take a breath and let it expand. That warmth has a name, and it is the absolute truth of your own identity finally being acknowledged out loud by the universe. You are no longer the one who shrinks, the one who is drained, or the one who constantly apologizes for existing. You are the one who controls the flood. But this identity that was just declared over you needs to be sustained, because the Gemini who knows their own worth without knowing the siege that surrounds them goes back to carrying stairs that aren't theirs. To ensure this new identity is never compromised again, you need the map inside the great secret of the universe to keep envy away from Gemini's life. This digital book is available right now in the first pinned comment. It is the absolute spiritual armory you need to sustain the powerful new identity that was just declared over your life today. Because if you step into this massive breakthrough unprotected, you leave your energetic field exposed to the exact same heavy eyes, the unspoken resentments, the sudden exhaustion, the silent sabotage that has drained you for years. Don't wait for the heavy stairs to return before you learn how to protect what has just been activated in you. Click the link below, download your digital book, and permanently seal your frequency. I promised I would come back to this. But before you move forward, you need to know exactly how this cycle will try to return to your life, because it will try. I told you I would reveal how this invisible siege will try to creep back into your life, because it absolutely will try. The moment your energy field begins to clear and the DNA karmic reset starts accelerating your life, the old structures of spiritual envy will make one final desperate attempt to reclaim their grip on your brilliant light. They will not announce themselves loudly. The siege will try to return through 3 specific subtle tactics over the next few days, and you need to be completely ready to disarm them the second they appear. The first tactic is the sudden doubt that sounds exactly like your own inner voice. For some of you, this happens late at night when the world is quiet. For others, it hits right as you are about to launch a new project or step into a new phase. You suddenly start questioning your own brilliance. When this happens, use your first weapon, the mirror visualization. Take your right hand and place it firmly over your chest. This is your physical anchor. Then mentally picture a reflective shield, pushing that heavy doubt straight back to the sender, and declare out loud, "My light belongs to me." You immediately cut the cord of that projected insecurity. The second tactic is the backhanded compliment from an old friend that tries to shrink your new joy. It is that comment wrapped in a fake smile that leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. Your second weapon is the silent nod. Do not argue. Do not try to justify your success. Simply nod slowly, maintaining unbroken, calm eye contact, refusing to absorb their energy. In your mind, say clearly, "I return this heavy weight to you." You acknowledge their presence, but you absolutely deny them access to your frequency. The third tactic is the sudden urge to apologize for your recent success. You catch yourself instinctively downplaying your massive victories just to make the insecure people around you feel more comfortable. Your third weapon is the spoken boundary. Whenever you feel that impulse to shrink yourself, pull your shoulders back to physically claim your space and say, "I will not apologize for what the universe has rightfully handed me." The moment you stop apologizing for your brilliance, the siege loses its final access point. These three weapons protect you from what I managed to show you today. But the cycle has more layers than what fits in one video. The invisible siege has spent years studying your vulnerabilities, and it will try to adapt. When the praise arrives with a hidden edge, when the next big leap is suddenly delayed, when the unexplainable exhaustion returns after you share your joy, you cannot afford to be caught unprotected again. Because what I gave you here is just the surface. For the complete spiritual armory, you need the great secret of the universe to keep envy away from Gemini's life. This digital book, available right now in the first pinned comment, is the complete map of the armor you need, so this invisible siege never catches you off guard again. I am not rushing you. I am warning you. Don't wait for the siege to close in again before you open the map that keeps you safe. This cosmic window to permanently secure your energetic field will not remain open forever. Download your digital book right now, and now I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. I need you to stop trying to figure everything out right now. Just for this brief moment, let go of the relentless logic that has been spinning in your mind all day. You have spent so much time analyzing the sudden delays, trying to find mundane excuses for the heavy energy of others, and intellectualizing the spiritual roadblocks in your life. That intellectual armor kept you safe for a long time, Gemini. But right now, you don't need it. I want you to drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, take one slow, deep breath and let it out completely. Notice the physical tension you have been carrying in your chest without even realizing it. You are safe here. You are seen here. Close your eyes for just 3 seconds. I want you to imagine a thick, gray, static cord attached to the back of your neck. This cord represents the collective weight of every envious look, every bitter compliment, and every hidden jealousy that has silently anchored you down. It is the invisible siege trying to hold you back from the river. Now, visualize a sudden pulse of brilliant silver light starting right from the center of your chest. Watch as this light races up your spine and instantly, violently snaps that gray cord. Feel the immediate, undeniable rush of lightness in your shoulders. Feel your lungs expanding as the heavy air leaves the room. The siege is broken. The air is absolutely clear. The concrete has shattered, and you are finally standing above the flood. You are entirely free to drop the bags that never belonged to you. Release the exhausting weight of the unspoken stares that tried to keep you small. Release the deep, internal guilt of letting your vibrant light shine brighter than the people around you. Release the fear of sounding crazy or paranoid when your sharp intuition warns you about a sudden shift in the room's energy. Release the stagnant connections and the draining friendships that only wanted you around when you were struggling, but suddenly went completely silent the moment you began to elevate your frequency. What remains now is your absolute truth. The universe is stepping in to claim what is rightfully yours. You are no longer shrinking to survive the coldness of others. The universe now activates the unseen observer within you to watch over your newly cleared path with sharp, unshakable clarity. You are no longer exhausting your soul trying to fix people who refuse to grow. The universe now activates the bridge builder to finally cross your own floodwaters toward massive victory. You are no longer apologizing for the magnitude of your brilliance. The universe now activates the bearer of two flames to burn furiously, beautifully, and without ever asking for permission again. You are feeling it right now, aren't you? That subtle electric warmth spreading through your hands and down your spine. That is the exact sensation of your energetic DNA confirming the reset. Before we seal this energy, write down below the name of someone you are carrying with you through this heavy crossing, or, if this is purely for you, write in one single sentence what you are expecting the universe to finally hand back to you. I will read it, and you will not write this alone. Don't let go of this energy just yet. We are not done. Stay with me. I seal the doors of your home against the invisible siege that tries to enter uninvited. I seal the fruits of your relentless effort against the silent sabotage of those who cannot applaud you. I seal the massive breakthroughs that are already on their way to you against the heavy eyes of the world. I saw every door that was slammed shut at the 11th hour precisely when you were ready to step through. I felt every bitter compliment that tried to poison your joy, and I watched when your brilliant ideas were quietly claimed by those who didn't have the courage to create them. You thought I was letting you struggle alone, but I was exposing the poisoned soil so you could see exactly who was walking upon it. I saw you swallow your good news in that quiet room because something warned you it wasn't safe to shine. I watched you carry the heavy weight of their unspoken resentment, choosing to dim your own vibrant light just to keep the peace and make them comfortable. I felt the agonizing exhaustion you pushed through every time the invisible siege tried to drag you back down to their level. You called it bad luck at the finish line, but I called it the invisible siege revealing its face. You called it a sudden loss of passion, but I was showing you the silent, energetic drain that you needed to cut. Every last-minute wall you hit was my way of stopping you from carrying that heavy, envious energy into the new phase I have prepared for you. I did not build you to shrink. I did not design your energetic blueprint to constantly accommodate the insecurities of those who refuse to elevate themselves. The karmic reset embedded in your DNA is not a punishment. It is the absolute cleansing of your field. It is the violent shattering of the concrete they tried to pour over your true potential. Your radical breakthroughs are no longer delayed. The cycle of almost making it is permanently dismantled. I am lifting the heavy stairs from your shoulders, and I am commanding the floodwaters of your true frequency to wash away every invisible cord that tried to keep you small. Your light belongs exclusively to you now. The doubt that sounds exactly like your own inner voice but was planted by the siege ends right here. The backhanded compliment from an old friend that tries to shrink your new joy ends right here. The sudden urge to apologize for your recent success just to make others comfortable ends right here. Gemini has never been half of anything. Gemini is not envied for being light. Gemini is envied for carrying two worlds where others can barely hold one. Don't let go yet. The universe has just told you. I saw you swallow your good news in that quiet room because something warned you it wasn't safe to shine. And that is exactly why I need to remind you of one thing before sealing this. That heavy, unspoken stare that will try to sit on your shoulders again tomorrow morning must not find an open door. What was cut here today is real, but tomorrow morning, the world will try to convince you that nothing has changed. To ensure this doesn't happen, you need the great secret of the universe to keep envy away from Gemini's life. This digital book is available right now in the first pinned comment. It is the definitive companion you need to sustain the powerful, energetic shield you raised during this crossing, ensuring you don't lose it by tomorrow. Don't wait for tomorrow to test the spiritual armor you have built today. Go to the first pinned comment, download your digital book, and seal your field permanently. There are thousands of Geminis listening to this right now in the exact same silence as you. If this voice found you today, subscribe to the channel, not for the numbers, but because the next message in this series is going to look exactly for those who have already crossed this first one. In the next video of this series, I am going to reveal to you the exact physical sign that appears 72 hours before the karmic reset fully activates in your life, and why almost every Gemini completely ignores it until it's too late. Do not miss it. And still in this video, Gemini, before I seal this hour with you, I come back one last time to this request. You have walked with me this far. You have crossed every word, every revelation, every sign. And if at any moment of this message you felt the universe touch you, you know this video was not an accident. The voluntary donation link remains open in the first pinned comment, right below the digital book. Not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as a giving back from the one who received to the source this message came from. Any amount your heart points to, and the universe sees every gesture. The universe sees. And the universe multiplies over your home, over your days, over what you don't even know is about to arrive. This was my last request. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much. And when that heavy stare tries to return, remember that the answer has a name, the great secret of the universe, and it is already within your reach. You are no longer the underground river quietly gathering force beneath dry, cracked earth. The pressure has triggered the massive geyser, the concrete is shattered, and you are finally in complete control of the flood. Now, you can let go. This message is complete. What was seen was seen. What was cut was cut. Walk light, Gemini.